welcome back. It is time for Creative Futures, where we feature our state's incredible artistic talent. Joining us this morning, we have Eddie Hall, an abstract artist from Berlin who is transforming discarded items into works of art. Thank you for joining us, Eddie.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thanks to the program for highlighting local artists.
Yeah, this is really awesome. Now, for folks who may not be familiar with your work, how would you describe it?
I'd really say I take a lot of inspiration from architectural and kind of, different forms and geometric shapes and kind of turn them into an abstract work and really try to create something with a vibrancy of color. I was just on vacation with my kids, and believe me, they get so annoyed at me stopping to take a picture of like the angle of the side of a building or something like that. But it really can be kind of anything you see. It's something that I just get inspired by and want to make something out of, and I think it'll be a striking image. Yeah.
Now, one of the items that you use, you tend to find some interesting pieces to create your artwork, and you use discarded glass, correct?
Yes.
So what led you to begin incorporating those pieces into your work?
I had been doing kind of just general abstract work for a while and working with, regular canvas, and I had an old window hanging, like a lot of people, I had an old window hanging in my kitchen just as a decorative kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And every so often I had been out to Arizona to Frank Lloyd Wright's art installation there, and I was like, oh, okay, I'd really been inspired by stained glass, and I was like, I'm going to try to rip that off and do something in my kitchen that kind of looks like that. And I finished it and went back to my other work, and I was like, you know what? I kept coming back to how, it's something about the vibrancy of the color that you can get from glass. It really kind of makes the colors pop. And, it really just stuck with me. And, you'd be amazed how many windows you find just laying by the side of the road or on Facebook Marketplace for free. And I'd rather they end up as a piece of art as opposed to ending up in the trash. Right,
right. Now, you brought one of your pieces here today, and guys, I don't know, well, yeah, we can see it pretty well. Okay, so can you describe how you made this? This is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one actually started with, I started doing gilding recently. When I started working on these, I was just like, oh, you just paint on the back of the window. And, and now, as you can see, I'm putting things on the front, on the back. There's kind of a gap because of the way newer windows are that you get, in a gallery environment, you get like a shadow with it. But this had a little bit of gold leaf in it that I kind of started with, and I was inspired, again, back to the Frank Lloyd Wright thing. He actually has these, they're called sprites that he has at a lot of his houses that are kind of, almost like angelic figures and shapes, and I kind of got inspired by that and by the colors here and just wanted to do this, kind of design with a kind of a pattern based on something like that.
Yeah, that is so cool. Now, you're also a father.
Yes.
How do you manage to, find that work-life balance with your professional career as a lawyer, right?
Yep.
Lawyer, father, and artist. How do you do it all?
No, I mean, this replaces, and it's difficult, but this replaces television or book. I used to read voraciously. I would watch TV. And I find these days it's like, okay, if I have a free moment, if I make a cup of coffee in the morning, I leave it and forget about it and go and work on a painting for a little while, because it really is, it's a passion, and it's just kind of like I found it and zeroed in on it. And it's a great thing if people can find that in their life, to have something that you really like. This is part of why I wake up in the morning, but it is difficult. I mean, having kids, I have a full-time job as an attorney. Well, I'm more like I manage a lot of things, but I'm an attorney. And it's a tricky balance, but I try to make it work, and really doing this brings me a lot of fulfillment.
Yeah, this is really wonderful, and I'm glad that you've found a creative outlet to help you just, find your balance while you're taking on your professional side and life as a parent.
Yeah.
All right, now we do have to head out, but how can people keep up with what you have going on?
I have a website, eddieHallArt.com. I actually, there's a lot going on there. I have a call right now for a show I'm putting on in New Britain. I've got a solo show in New London later this month, and so, yeah, definitely check things out there. I really appreciate the opportunity.
All righty, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.